Coming live from the classroom. You know, I got to start off with a smile anyway. It's Real Estate Tuesday, people. Let's go. Okay. I'm excited. Happy Tantalizing Terrific Tuesday to all of you. Hopefully, you've had a great start of your morning. Um, every Tuesday, I come and I talk about real estate. I got something fun today to talk about. Hi, everybody on Instagram, hi on Facebook, and my YouTube channel. Hello, hello. Glad to be here in the place to be. Um, yeah, my name is Toria Howard. If you don't know who I am, I'm a real estate professional, but hey, I'm an educator by day, but I'm a real estate professional. I also do financial literacy, helping people with credit repair so they can buy a home or just live the life of their dreams, and business funding broker. So, I wear a lot of hats, but today we're talking about real estate. So, how was everybody's Tuesday going? Drop a one in the comments if you're watching this live, drop a two if you're new to my live, and drop a three if you're watching the replay. And I really appreciate it. We're talking about real estate markets and why it's important for you as a consumer. You should be thinking as an investor, though, to know your real estate market. Regardless of the fact if you have a trusted real estate professional or not, you should always know your market. And Bigger Pockets, I was reading a article from them. I got to move fast today because I got a meeting. But, um, I read an article, interesting article on Bigger Pockets. And they were talking about, because, the Super Bowl just, came about. Hey, that's Miss Birdie. Hey, Miss Birdie. Um, the Super Bowl just, concluded. Congratulations to the Kansas City Chiefs. The Lions should have been there, but whatever. Um, still feeling a little kind of way about that. But anyway, they have ranked the NFL markets that have the best cash flow potential. Right, those of you that are investors, this is how, if you have a good football team, it means that you're having a moving economy in your city, because people come to the city, to spend money, and people even inside the city come out and spend money to boost that economy. So, if you have those faithful fans, then you know that the city is going to be represented in an economic type of way strong. I know for Detroit, during the regular season and the playoff run, I mean, it was so much, it was millions upon millions of dollars pumped into the city. So, it's important to think about that as well when you're thinking about investing. So, one thing that was surprising to me that had the best, and this is a rent to price ratio, so RTP, right? So, if you're looking to be a buy and hold investor, then this is information is good for you to know, right? Even if you're not a buy and hold investor, just if you are still renting and you looking to become a homeowner, you'll know what your status, the status of your market would be. So Cleveland, Ohio, right? Hi, Stacy. Hey, shout out to Stacy. Go get your massage if you're in the in the surrounding areas. She's awesome. But if you're Cleveland was number one for best rent to price ratio. That's crazy. The Cleveland Browns, Pittsburgh, my Pittsburgh Steelers. I am a Lions fan too, though. Was number two. Chicago was number three. New Orleans is number four. Miami is number five. A lot of people love Miami. I love Miami. I was thinking about moving there. The first time I went down there, me and my friend, we were still in college, and we was thinking about transferring to the University of Miami. I think I was getting my master's at the time. And, how we was going to live and all of that. Miami just have a vibe. Cincinnati, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 is number 6. Tampa, Florida is 7. Detroit is number 8 on the list. Philadelphia is 9. Indianapolis being 10. And New York City is right there. So, all these markets that have this is best cash flow potential. So if you're thinking about, be having a starter home in these areas, and then you're going to take that house and then rent it later, this is something that you need to look at. That's why you have to know your market. Because the whole point of being a first-time home buyer or a home buyer, period, you want to see how you can maximize your return on your investment, because you don't want the house just to be a liability. You want it to be an investment, that's something that can grow in potential, and you have to know the rents in that area. So that's one thing that you need to do and realize when you're thinking about buying your first home. You have to think like an investor. What is the best cash flow potential? What is the rent to price ratio in that area? Because you don't plan on staying there for long. Start where you are, but use that starter home as a potential investment property, in a sense where you're going to upgrade later. And you have to know your market. So I just gave you the top 10. Of course, Detroit is on the list at number 8. Okay. But Cleveland was number 1. I was like, oh, okay. So, that surprised me a bit. So when you're thinking about buying your first home, you have to think like an investor, because you're gonna keep increasing and upgrading. So you need to make sure that you understand which markets has the best potential for your cash flow. And like I said, I just gave you the top 10: Cleveland, Pittsburgh, Chicago, New Orleans, Miami, Cincinnati, Tampa, Detroit, Philadelphia, and Indianapolis. Those are the top 10 best rent to price ratio cities. Based on this bigger pockets article ranking the best NFL markets, okay, for cash flow. So, that's something to think about. Um, you know, uh, so the market with the best prices was surprising to me, which was New York City. I don't know where they're getting this information from, but a lot of people in New York, you know, and California and some of those other places are kind of up in arms, because New York and Los Angeles and Chicago, some of the top 3 highest real estate markets, has the best prices per se. Detroit is like 13. So, but it's basically, ranked on the unemployment rate, the median household income, and all of that. So when you're talking about buying a home, you have to think like an investor. How would an investor look? Think about it. What's the rent potential? What's the what is the appreciation value in your area? All of those different types of things. If you Memphis is not on this list, and Memphis would have been on this list, probably I would say, if they had a football team, they would probably be um somewhere along the lines of in the top. They would have been in the top 10 too. No, yeah, no, they would have been in the top 13 or so, because Memphis is a 54% rental market. And it's great cash flow potential in Memphis as well, but they're not ranked on this list because they don't have an NFL team. So when you're talking about buying your first home, you have to understand what is the cash flow potential for that particular home. You need to understand that to know what your return on investment could be if you decide to upgrade later and use that house as an investment property. So that's one of the things I teach my clients. You have to think like an investor. When you're buying your home, when you're buying your first home, you have to think like an investor. So you need to make sure that you're doing the things that you need to do in order to get the maximum return. Thank you. Lunch again. So think about it. Make sure that you are doing all that you can to make sure that you know your market. You need to know the appreciation value. You need to know the cash flow potential. You need to know how much the rents are in that area, because your home should always be in the back of your mind an investment that's going to give you a return. You don't want it to be a liability the whole time. So you have to make sure that you're looking at those potential things, especially if you are a first time home buyer. Start where you are and use that home to upgrade to that dream home. A lot of people don't even buy a home because they're so stuck in the mindset like, I gotta have a 4 bedroom, 5 bathroom house right away. No, start where you are by looking at it as an investment property in a sense, because you want to be able to use that house to upgrade to that bigger house. You don't want to use your money to buy the bigger house. You want to use cash flow to buy the bigger house. That's what you want to use. You don't want to use your hard-earned money. And that's the thing about that's the thing about first-time home buyers. You get caught up in the glitz and the glamour of owning a home, but you're not thinking in a sense of how I'm going to turn this liability into an asset. And that's the point. When you're a first time home buyer, you're thinking about how this can turn into an asset later on, 2 to 5 years. What is the asset potential? That's what you're looking to do. So when you have to know your market, regardless of the fact that you use a trusted real estate professional like myself or somebody else. You still need to know your market, especially even if you're a seasoned home buyer. You still need to know what's the cash flow potential in that area, what's the appreciation value in that area, you know, and you know what is the rent, how much, and how often does the rent increase in that area. You have to know all of those things so that once you want to upgrade, you can upgrade, take that, it's called house hacking, and you save on taxes that way as well. I'm not a tax professional, I'm just speaking from what I know. But you do the upgrade. You can do, you just take that money and funnel it into another home. You can do that, but you use that as an investment property. So I don't want to throw out terminology and things where you might not understand, so I'm trying to make it as simple as possible. So as a first time home buyer, you need to think like an investor. Start where you are, right? Know your market. Okay. Understand cash flow potential, rental prices, and appreciation values. Like in Memphis, for instance, appreciation, even in a down market in Memphis and the surrounding areas, the home prices go up 1 to 5%. And with Memphis being a 54% rental market, that's one of the best markets to be in as far as a buy a home investor. Detroit is too. Detroit, like it says, is on the list here. Where was it at? 57% rental market. Even better return. So you need to be thinking as an investor. When I helped my one of my dear friends to buy a home, she wasn't even thinking like that at first. She was just thinking, I need to get a home because I've never been a home buyer. I've never been a homeowner. And now that she got that home, that starter home, she's like, okay, now I see the upside in this. People are fixing up the area. I see that the rent is going to be this. The cash flow can be this. And now she's thinking about upgrading later by using that home that she's staying in now, because now she knows what her potential cash flow is. So you need to understand that as a first time home buyer. I know that's like a lot to think about. And the average real estate agent, usually, I'm not saying all, but the average real estate agent really are not going to enlighten you on that part of it. They're going to just give you what you want based on what you can afford as far as your pre-approval and all of that. And don't take your max pre-approval. You need to be, if this is going to be a starter home for you, it's your first home, you need to think like an investor. What is the upside potential in this home that I can use? All right. So I'm gonna get off my soapbox about that. So another reason why to know your real estate market is understanding property values. You have to understand, the different neighborhoods, the areas, the knowledge that allows you to be make an informed decision, because you want to make an informed decision. You don't want nobody to push you into a decision. You want to be well informed based on what your knowledge and also what the real estate professional is telling you. You have to identify the opportunities. There's opportunity. Real estate is one of the best ways to build wealth. It always has been. You can check any billionaire portfolio. They have some sort of real estate in their portfolio as their eight streams of income. You know, so you need to know the upside in that. So understanding the opportunities. What's the up and coming neighborhood? This is how you can identify up and coming neighborhood. Anytime you see a landmark, a municipal building, anything new, a new landmark, a new municipal building, anything new coming into the market that has not been there before, you know that this neighborhood is changing. When you see a lot of construction and things are fixing and moving, that's that's the opportunity. You have to identify the opportunity by looking around you. If they put a new community center, they put a new school, they put all these different new items that are in there, that especially if it's government based, and because that's the anchor of the community at that point. Just like in Raleigh, they put the new library and the skate park and all that up there, municipal building. So Now they got a Chick-fil-A. They got all these different, and Chick-fil-A does not put their real estate, because they're in the real estate business too. They don't put their real estate anywhere. It has to have an upside opportunity potential for them in order to put um, their business there. You know, McDonald's is operates in real estate in a different type of way because they just know that people want to buy their stuff regardless. But Chick-fil-A thinks in a different way because they want a different type of customer. They want to attract a different type of customer. They have a more, esteemed customer, right? Base, as they want to say. So they put their real estate in places that are up and coming and going to move, and the incomes and the property values are going to rise. They do that. So anytime you see new businesses, new municipal government buildings, new landmarks in a certain area, that's identifying the opportunity in that area. So you need to be looking at your surroundings. Do you know your market? Are you looking around you to see what's going on in your neighborhood or in the neighborhoods that you're thinking about? And a lot of times people are not thinking about the neighborhoods that they're forgetting a lot of neighborhoods because it's the hood and all that. They want you to think that. But you have to drive through there and see what's moving and shaking and what's going on. If they're rebuilding, if there's new landmarks, if there are new businesses coming in, you have to pay attention to that. That's the upside potential. That will make sure that your real estate will continue to increase the appreciation value. So when you're talking about buying a home as a first time home buyer, you have to think like an investor. Know your property values, know the opportunities, identify that. What is the cash flow potential? What is the rental rates in that area? Know those things. Regardless if you might stay there or you might not, but you still need to know that and know how the property is going to increase. So you want to make informed offers. A lot of times my clients come to me and of course, I'm going to do my research, but they come to me and they want me to make the offer for them and give them the number. You should know your number. You should know how much you want to spend on a particular property because of the upside potential, you know, the opportunity, what needs to be done, what you need to, what work you need that needs to be done, all of those different types of things once you see a home. So you need to make sure that you're understanding your market so you can make an informed offer. Give your real estate agent a number and they can tell you, okay, that's too much or that's too low or whatever the case may be. You can tailor it, but you will understand how to make that informed decision and not just letting somebody make the decision for you. And then navigating the competition. This will be a lot of competition, especially in these summer months, because we're in an election year, okay? And you have to understand in an election year, there's a lot of things that's going to be moving and shaking in the stock market, in the real estate market, any type of, crypto, all that type of, any type of markets, the the political climate dictates a lot of times what's going to happen. So you need to understand too that part. Because we're in an election year, a lot of times the stock markets are, if you seeing all these AI stocks, it's going crazy. We had a conversation about that last night, with the stock group I'm in. AI stocks going crazy. I remember Nvidia was $150, $160, something like that last year. It's $760 or something. It's crazy. So you have to pay attention to the markets in all facets and the climate in which we're in the political year, so a lot of things are going to be, interest rates are going to start to slide a little bit because people want that edge. They want you to vote for them. So you have to understand all the aspects of what you're doing as a consumer and you're buying. You have to think like an investor. You have to understand the cash flow potential. You have to understand the rental rates in that area, appreciation. Is there new landmarks and government buildings being built in that area? Are there any like community centers, those type of things? Are there new restaurants and businesses coming in that area? Look for the opportunity when you're a first time home buyer instead of always looking for the glitz and the glamour of things that's, outside or the outskirts. Everybody want to move outside the city, especially in Detroit, but look what's going on. You got to wake up. You have to wake up. They want you to move out. You got to look at any type of metropolitan area. They're doing gentrification. And you have to understand the ramifications of that. So, like I said, know your real estate market. Do you know your real estate market? Those of you that looking to buy, looking to invest or whatever. So you have to think like an investor. Like I said, you have to know the cash flow potential in your area, the appreciation value, the rental rates in that area, how often the rents go up in that area. You know, are there any type of new things going on in the area? Are there municipal buildings being built? Are there, new businesses and restaurants coming in? That is upside for potential. That means you can get instant equity a lot of times when you're talking about buying in an opportunity zone, but you have to pay attention to the market. So I gotta go. But I just wanted to come and bring you that, so if you missed it, go back and watch it. I gave some gems, I think. I know. For you to think like an investor when you're talking about your first home, your second, third, fourth, whatever it is, you have to think like an investor, especially in this climate. Because you want your home to be an asset and not a liability. Or you can have the potential of turning it into an asset. All right. So I bid you adieu. I'll see you in these social media streets. And, like I said, follow me for more tips. Contact me if you're ready to become a homeowner and your finances are holding you back. I would love to help. I can show you how. I know what your credit report needs to be. It's not about your score, about your credit report. I know how your credit report needs to be set up. I know what you need to do to pay down your debt. I can help you streamline your plan. I've done it. I'm tried and true. Okay. I've done it for myself. I've done it for others. So holler at me if you need credit repair, if you need business funding, if you need to get your business all the way together. I have connections that can help you. Stop. If you're a business owner, stop using Gmail. Okay. I'm sorry. I just had to say that. Get you a business branded email. Make yourself look official so you go out here and get some money. All right. Y'all have a blessed day. Love you. Bye.